This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2017 here in Vancouver. I have with me Mr. Greg Beischer from Millrock Resources Inc. It's a publicly traded company. I'm going to give you two symbols, MRO on the TSX-V and MLRKF in the US on the OTC markets. Welcome back to SNNLive.
Thank you very much, Shelley. Great to be here at the Sprott Natural Resources Symposium again.
It's good to see you. Let's start out with a short overview on the company for our investor audience, and then we'll go from there.
Sure, Shelley, you'll remember we're a project generator company. Alaska is our home base. That's one of the main places we explore. Balanced that seasonality with work in Sonora State, northern Mexico. And now we're active explorers in British Columbia as well.
Well, that's a change. So let's do an update. Tell me what's new.
Sure. Well, I remember 2 years ago, you and I spoke here, and I was very optimistic. At the time, that was the bottom of the market. As it turned out, I didn't have any special magic, but it just turned out that we made some really good buys at that time. We made a big move into Mexico. We moved into British Columbia, bought up assets at very low cost, and already we're realizing the fruits of taking those chances.
You know, in my career, especially when it comes to real estate, you make money when you buy right. And I remember that conversation 2 years ago myself. And at first I said, how can this guy be so optimistic when everybody else in the room was gloomy and sad? You tell me.
Well, I mean, bad times really are good times for generative companies like ours. We can buy things less expensively, or the ground becomes open and available for us to stake it at low cost. So if we're prepared, knowing the cyclicity, we can plan for it. And now that the cycle's changed and things are improving.
We've had some interviews, of course, as we always do, with, let's say, Rick Rule and other resource experts, and there seems to be an inclination on their part to think that being an exploration company right now is a good time. Explain.
Well, I think so. I think I know the money's flowing back into the market. We're seeing it at Millrock. Major companies are approaching us about our projects.
Another part of what their contention is, and you probably agree with this as well, is that a lot of the majors have been producing and have discontinued their exploration departments. In fact, some of the exploration departments are now part of some junior resource companies. Comment.
Certainly. You know, when I came up through the ranks of a major international company, mining company, there was well over 100 geologists on staff. That was just for the greenfields exploration. That simply doesn't exist now. Much of that exploration falls to companies like ours, the generative explorers. We make relationships with the major companies, and they've got the inside track on any discoveries we make.
Do you have any drill programs going on at the moment?
We're going to start our next one just less than 2 weeks from now. I was very pleased to announce that yesterday. A new deal with a junior company that's financing our work. They were successfully raised in excess of $4 million US, much of which will be directed to drilling a deposit that's known to exist in our claims. We'll execute the work. That's going to be a big flurry of activity. It's in Alaska, so we've got to get it done within the next 60 or 70 days.
Otherwise, it gets a little cold and you have to go to Mexico. Terrible for you.
Well, that is very much the reason we work in both those jurisdictions, so that we can produce drilling results year-round basis for our shareholders.
So where are you in BC now?
Well, it's in the Golden Triangle, Stewart district, hot area. New mines coming on stream, new discoveries being made. It's a very well mineralized slice of the Earth's crust. There's some great indications on our properties. We've vended the properties to another junior company in return for shares. So now we're a major shareholder of a new junior company. And they're just getting going now, off to the races. We'll execute the exploration on their behalf this year while they ramp up. But I think there's going to be more discoveries.
What's your background?
I'm a geologist and I'm a mining engineering technologist. Came up through the ranks of Inco and I've been living in Alaska for just about 25 years now.
Stay warm. What's your website for our investor audience?
www.millrockresources.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Beischer, Millrock Resources Inc. It's a publicly traded company. Give you two symbols, MRO on the TSX-V, MLRKF in the U.S. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2017 here in Vancouver. Greg, always a pleasure to see you.